Thanks very much, Chairman, and thank you to the witnesses for being here. Let me start with Mrs. Pagan. There are two issues we've been working on that involve the World Trade Organization. One is pirate fishing, and in particular the use of forced labor, in fact, slavery, in pirate fishing. This matters a lot to American fisheries because it's really hard to compete with foreign fishermen who use slavery to their advantage. And the second is ocean plastics. We are headed for a world in which by 2050 there'll be more ocean plastic waste than there are living ocean fish if we don't get around this. Could you let me know where those two issues will fall in your priorities?
Thank you, Senator Whitehouse. On forced labor and fisheries, as you probably know, the United States has made a proposal for the fish subsidies negotiations that we obviously continue to push and we hope will be part of the final outcome. So that is one way of trying to get at that issue, which is very important, and it is definitely tied to the issue of illegal fishing that we're trying to, and harmful subsidies that we're trying to curb through the agreement. So that is certainly a priority for us. On ocean plastics, I know this is another issue that is very important to you. I believe there's various, or at least one stream of work that's going on at the WTO on this issue and related issues. And so if confirmed, I will definitely work on this and continue to advance these issues at the WTO and hope to work with you and your office on this issue.
Thank you. This was a very strong bipartisan issue in the Senate. Senator Sullivan of Alaska did really terrific work as my main compadre on this. The previous president, Secretary of State, and Trade Representative actually all talked a good game on this issue, but once it got down into the weeds, we always collapsed and were outed in world press as being the country that was holding back progress on ocean plastics. So something needs to be fixed in the weeds where you will be, and I hope you will help fix it.
If confirmed, I commit to working with you on this issue.
Mr. Neiman, the Pandora Papers has shed new light on the role of kleptocracy and corruption. The president, I think, has correctly defined kleptocracy and corruption as national security hazards for America. How do you propose to prioritize anti-kleptocracy efforts in your proposed role?
Thank you for the question, Senator. It's, of course, a very important issue. Anti-corruption, is a real priority for the Biden administration. And in my role, one way in which I could make progress against this priority is via the international financial institutions. And so I would commit to work with the executive directors, for example, of the MDBs, to promote good governance reforms, anti-corruption efforts in the lending programs around issues like debt transparency, revenue administration, public contracting. There also, are instances and reasons that we would want to be vigilant about making sure there's no corruption within the international financial institutions, and I would also keep an eye toward those issues. And if
with a view that this is an American national security issue.
Absolutely. It's a matter of projecting our values to the world. I agree, Senator.
And stopping the subsidy and the aiding and abetting of our enemies.
I agree, Senator.
Mr. Frost, anti-money laundering requirements are really no more effective than money launderers' ability to get around them. Our banking institutions operate under robust anti-money laundering rules. But if you move over into private equity firms, hedge funds, venture capital firms, and other entities, the same rules don't apply. So it becomes super easy for somebody who wants to launder money to simply go through another gate. If we really want to fight money laundering, we actually have to make sure it doesn't get through various gates as opposed to just close one gate and leave other gates wide open. If you're confirmed, what do you intend to do about anti-money laundering requirements for private equity, hedge funds, and venture capital?
Thank you for the question, Senator. I'd like to maybe start by acknowledging your leadership in this area on anti-money laundering and more generally on shining a light on abuses of our financial system. For financial markets to work and perform well, they need to be transparent. And investors need to have confidence that they're not being manipulated. If confirmed, I'd be happy to work with you and your staff and with other offices at Treasury, including the Office of Terrorism and Financial Intelligence, to ensure that AML obligations are being met and that there's a level and fair playing field.
Is there nothing that you could do by regulation?
That's something, if confirmed, I'd be happy to work with you and your staff and
Yeah,
certainly.
but the reason you'd be working with me and my staff is to do legislative stuff. You don't need to work with me and my staff to do regulatory stuff. You can do regulatory stuff. Is there not regulatory stuff that you could do?
Well, Senator, I would need to circle up with the relevant offices at Treasury who are a little bit more focused on these issues, but I'd be happy to engage with them.
Thank you. My time's up. Thank you, Chairman.